Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Malani, co-founder at AVM Granite, and we have been beautifying your living spaces since 1996. Today we have with us North Karnataka's most renowned and iconic structural engineer, Mr. B. Mahesh, who is going to give us some valuable insights about a building construction. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Before we start with Mahesh, I would like to mention Mr. Mahesh has more than 3 decades of experience in structural designing. He completed his master's degree in structural engineering from BVB College in 1989 and 90. Later on, he went to Pune and joined SPACON as a structural engineer, and there he was responsible for designing the Majalgaon sugar factory in Bid district, Maharashtra. In 1991, he came back to Hubli and set up his own consultancy firm, BM Associates. And since then, he has been providing yeoman service to the people of North Karnataka and Karnataka. He has designed n number of buildings, be it residential, be it commercial, even educational institutes, auditoriums, and many other buildings. He is an active member of ICI, ACCE Hubli, ACCE India, and CREDAI. And he has been recognized with many awards from ICI and Ultratech for best buildings in Bagalkot, Hospet, Koppal, and Hubli. Currently, he is also a builder and he is developing n number of qualitative residential and commercial projects. So, I welcome to you and thank you for joining us despite your busy schedule. And we hope that today's session gives a lot of valuable insights to all the home builders of in and around North Karnataka.
Thank you, Abhishek. I really appreciate your initiative of this knowledge series.
Thank you, sir. So, you've been in the business of structural designing since last 30 years, sir. So, please tell us something about your journey so far.
Yeah, in 1991, I started my own office in Eureka Tower in the name of BM Associates. And at that time, there was no many structural engineers in Hubli. So there was a passionate for me that I should be a structural engineer and I should practice structural engineering. So I started as a civil and structural engineering office in 1991. Since then, but at that time, in the society or in the market or in the construction industry, there was no awareness about the structural engineers, what exactly his role is. Anybody who wanted to build a house, they usually used to go to the architect or the civil engineer for their building planning and designing. So it was very difficult for and even very challenging to give importance about my services. So that time what I thought was that usually the architects needs our service, whenever they plan it. So usually they'll not be very good in designing. So they need the support of a structural engineer. So I had some young architects that time practicing in Hubli and also very seniors like Kembabi architect, Gore Bhagwat, Varnekar, and so many were there. There's some senior architects and also the young architects like Dinesh Angal, Sandeep Kulkarni, Raju Hiremat, and then the architect groups. These are the architects at that time. They were also practicing with me. So then I approached them and they used to refer us a lot of buildings to us. Now I used to support them. And later on in 92, 93 or 94, there was a lot of vertical growth. I mean to say the commercial complexes started coming up in Hubli and Dharwad. So that time the builders like Eureka builders, then Ashwamedha developers, then Lakshmi Narayan developers, that is called as Chatney builders, and then the builders like they were into the construction of commercial buildings mainly. So they also started referring the projects and we did a lot of good commercial projects. That time those are only the multi-story buildings. Residential building, they used to be only load bearing or ground plus 1 or at the maximum ground plus 2. There were no high-rise building that time. Actually, our services are required for high-rise building or important structures where there is a big spans and heavy loading is there, and all those things are required. So slowly, even when we started giving us services, the people started understanding our importance. So a lot of people started approaching us. In fact, in the year 1993, we have built an apartment in Karwar.
Oh,
That was my first visit to Karwar, and I was surprised. And still, whenever I go there, that building is there, and I feel very proud that we have done this design.
so probably at that time there was no high-rise building in Hubli yet also.
No, there was no high-rise buildings. So slowly, after as we grow, we even started giving services like designing and preparing estimates for small buildings and medium-sized buildings. Like we built some hospitals, commercial complexes, industrial buildings. Slowly, we were getting a lot of projects, and we were always busy in our activities. And mainly, we concentrated on giving a good service to the customer, and we used to take a lot of responsibilities in whatever the assignments was given to us. That was the success criteria, I can say. And any of the customer who have come to us, they have come again and again, and there is a continuous the projects where we have received from our regular customers only.
So that we have experienced personally, sir, since last 26 years, right from the smallest of our factory buildings, you have been assisting us and guiding us in each and every of our project. So your service is something that is really very commendable.
Thank you very much. Then what happened? Then in the year 2007, so we were giving a lot of services to the many builders and developers in around Hubli and Dharwad, and we felt that we can also build some our own buildings, and we ventured into the residential apartments, the construction of residential apartment in the year 2007. We started with a very small project because it was in just a try, and we don't have the money, the budget also with us. With the success of one apartment at the Shivganga layout, we built only 6 units. So we got a very good, tremendous, the appreciation for the project. In the plot, we built 6 units. So immediately we go on developing one by one, and so far we have built around 14 apartments of around 400 units.
Oh, great. Great.
So we also made a name in our residential apartment constructions. So that was another milestone in our career. Like we also become developers. So like that, we have developed something for our quality service and good design and timely services were the main criteria in our design team.
We see, sir, you have a lot of visibility in Hubli Dharwad market. So that is commendable, sir. It's done a great job with the residential apartments, especially. So, what is the one most important thing that you really care when you start structural designing of a building, sir?
Yeah, basically, whenever the project comes or a project is taken up, first we study the site conditions and what type of the soil the building is coming up. This is the most important. And the availability of the local materials also we study. And first we'll study what is the type of the building, whether it is a residential, commercial, then it is whether an education institution, hospital. Then accordingly we start putting our design, the concept into that. Because sometimes in commercial spaces and all that, we need a lot of huge open spaces. Most of the time we work with the architects. So that time also we need to satisfy his structure, his designs, and sometimes a lot of cantilevers will be there. All those had to be taken care in the beginning of our designs. So we use a lot of good tools for our analysis and the design. So always we keep the latest the technology which is available in the market. So we always update our knowledge regularly.
Great, sir. So it takes a lot of thinking in designing, starting a design. It takes a lot of thinking and
the preliminary working and the planning is very important. Later on, it becomes easy once the entire structure is conceived, like how it is going to come up. So how many floors, where the water tank is to be located, so where all the other services are coming. Even maybe it's a heating system or air conditioning. Everything has to be taken in care, and all those loads has to be considered while designing the structure.
So, especially in construction, lot of materials are being used. So, can you enlighten our audience with what checks and how to select the best materials for construction?
Earlier, very few companies are there who are manufacturing cement or a steel. Now there are a lot of companies which are manufacturing cement or a steel. So what has happened, usually earlier days, people have very less choices. They used to go for one or two companies and they were satisfied.
Yes.
Now that is not the case. Since the many products are available in the market, we need to check their qualities. There are very good companies and then secondary companies and all those things. But what I generally suggest to our customer is that even there is a steel, when you want to choose a steel for your building, first of all you should see it should be a primary steel. It should not be a secondary steel made up of some scrap material or that, and it is made up of the original billets. And then if you are buying a huge quantities and huge consumption of steel is there, whatever the batch of the steel you receive for your site, that should be tested. Like that also cement, there are the tests while you do some quality checks, you have to do it. Even when you are preparing a concrete, you have to obtain a mixed design for that particular grade of a concrete, and you should doing the construction also, you should test the cubes, slump and other things should be tested. Similarly, the other material like a jelly, whatever is available in the market, it should also be tested. Lot of types of jellies are available. They should be angular and cubical in shape. That should be a good one. There should not be any dust in that. And regarding the sand also, there are varieties of sands are available in the market. We should see which type of the sand, where, for which application we are using it. For example, concreting and all that, we can go for now M sand, that is also washed M sand, we call it as. And for plastering, good river sand, pure river sand should be used. Like that, we should be very good in selecting the proper materials for a good quality constructions.
So you just now mentioned about M sand. There is a lot of confusion in the minds of people that M sand is not a good quality product, or M sand doesn't give the required strength as of natural river sand.
Yeah.
So can you clarify these doubts for our people? Can we effectively use M sand, and what cautions or what precautions we should take while using M sand, sir?
Yeah, see, initially when the M sand came into the market, so it was everybody started taking the boulders or the stone, natural stone, and started crushing and started supplying to the market. So the first impression is always the best impression, they say, no? The beginning, whatever the M sand which came has a lot of dust, I mean the fine particle, that is a stone dust we call it as. That gave some problem to the initially to the concrete as well as to the cement and the sand which was mixed. Okay, there were cracks developed and there was a leakage problems. So it set in the mind, M sand is not good. It is going to not give a good strength and all. Later on, some good technology has come now, and people have now adopted in the modern the M sand plants, manufacturing plants, where they wash and segregate these particles, and they give a good grain sizes what is required as per the IS standards. Okay. So usually it should be 2 mm to 4 mm, like that. Even coarse sand is more than 4 mm, like that. They do some sieving analysis and all that. So now washed sand, which is now coming to the market, is really good. We can use that M sand without any keeping in mind that it will not give strength. It is giving a good strength in the concrete or in the construction of masonry work or something. There is no problems now. We are not facing any problems with using the washed M sand.
Great.
That is good for the construction.
This is going to be really, really very helpful for so many of our home builders in North Karnataka.
Yeah.
Sir, what is the most important thing that a home builder should take care at various stages of buildings, like foundation, columns, slabs, lintel?
To start with foundations, foundations are very, very important for structure, because if this foundation is good or if it is strong, then your building will be safe. So we have to be very careful while designing or constructing a foundation. The thorough investigation of soil should be carried out, because even around Hubli and Dharwad also, very various types of soils are there. Mainly we have around 60% or more than 50% the soil is a black cotton soil. That is a very much challenging to the our structural engineers. Most of the time they develop a cracks in the foundations or in the walls and or in the flooring. So we need to take a lot of care or the first proper investigation about the soil to be carried out, and then what type of the treatment or what type of the foundation we have to design for that. That is to be decided. Nowadays, pile foundations we are going for wherever there is a deep black cotton soil is there, like in Puskal Road, that we have to decide. Or if it is a again the white matti or white shale soil is also available in most part of our Hubli, yellow or red matti soil we call it as. Then another one is a moram soil. So that is usually good for the foundations. So foundations should be designed, and they should be designed economically also. Sometimes the soil is weak, then the cost of the foundation will go up like anything. So a lot of care in choosing the proper foundation design is very important, and the work also should be carried out by placing your foundation at a rigid surface or the hard surface. That is most important. After that, next comes is the columns. Columns, they are the pillars always should be strong in a building. They transfer the building load to the foundation and foundation to the soil. That is how the structure behaves. So columns also plays a very important role. The spacing, the location, and then nowadays, as the quality is improving or the construction, now the people are demanding the good quality construction. Grade of concretes are now improved. Earlier we used to do concreting with only M15 grade. Then M20 came. Now M20 is outdated. The people are now going with M25 grade of a concrete. That is higher grade. They use a little bit more cement, and so you get a good quality construction. And while doing the columns also, you should have a good centering, proper the plywood centering, so you get a good finishes, and proper cover should be given, because so that the reinforcement should be protected in case of a columns. And then comes is the lintels. You should have a through lintels for a buildings. Okay, so that they will have, if any small earthquake or the shake in the building is there, that will be taken care of. There will be tied to all the columns. So through lintels are preferred. And when it comes to the slab level, so we should check the spans, and accordingly it should be designed based on the end conditions, whether it is a continuous support, and also the designer should check the deflections. There should not be any sag in the slab or something. So the slabs also very important, they should be taken care. So all these stages of our construction or the designing, the one should take care so that the building or the structure comes up well.
Sir, in your last 30 years of experience, which is the most challenging or the most complex structure that you have come across, and how did you do, how did you achieve it or complete it? Tell us something about your success story, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I have done a lot of designs, many multi-story buildings, residential bungalows, hospitals or industrial buildings. But recently, around 5 years back, we designed one Panchamukhi Parameshwara statue in Huvina Hadagali, which is in Bellary Taluk. Okay, which is a very, very challenging it was, because when they came to us for designing this structure, it was totally not conventional one. They wanted to build a unique one statue. She was a statue having 5 faces, facing towards north, south, east, west, and also one facing towards the sky. Then it is called as a Panchamukhi. So their dimensions was 108 feet by 108 feet base. Then the height was also around 108 feet. Then there was a pita which was having around 42 feet, and above that there was a linga which is having around 66 feet. So apart from that, then to drain out the water, there is a pani pita we call it as, that was having a cantilever of around 45 feet. That was the most challenging, how to support that 45 feet span. So somehow we worked out the basic structure, how it should be, so that it can be as safe and it should become a monument for the visitors, and it should become one what do you call it, as all the peoples, they come as a tourist spot. It should become a tourist spot.
Correct.
That was an idea. So we did a 45 feet cantilever by giving some additional struts, so which will be covered in your architectural the design, so that can be supported and that shape can be achieved.
That's a great monument, sir. I think personally I should go and visit, since it is a holy place also, and also an iconic structure, sir.
Yes.
So one last thing, sir. What message would you like to give to the home builders in and around North Karnataka and upcoming young engineers, architects, structural engineers who have been inspired by you over the years, sir? What would you like to say, sir?
Basically, whoever want to construct their houses, the new home by builders, no, they should choose the materials very wisely now, because lot of innovations has happened recently. Their building designs and the situation where it is located, they should choose the material very smartly. So it is actually the whoever who is building a new house, they usually get a little bit confused how to choose which material to choose. It is not a very easy job now, but still the good engineer and architect can help them about the availability of the new materials, and they can build really a very beautiful and smart houses nowadays. The smart kitchens or modular kitchens are the order of the day. It's a must, and everybody who is building a house, the first thing comes in their mind is a kitchen, because very important part. And for the young architects and engineers who are coming, structural engineer, maybe a civil engineer, they should adopt the latest technologies which have come in the construction field. They should update their knowledges, and they should have the awareness about the softwares which are now the tools, important tools. Without that, we cannot give a service very quickly. They should learn all those tools, and also they should be very sincere in their services, and also they work hard, and they should be responsible also, because now any project they take, they should deliver the services sincerely with responsibilities. So then they can achieve a good success in their career. So I wish them all the best to my young engineers and architects.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing so many valuable insights with all our home builders, and it was a great time, sir. Thank you. Despite your busy schedule, you've been here. I really thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Abhishek. It was a very nice being with this the knowledge series. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you, everyone.